Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Season 1, Episode 1 of Santa Clarita Diet, titled So Then, a Bat or a Monkey. So we start off with our main people, Joel, I believe his name is, and Sheila. I probably should have checked to make sure I had the right names, but we're just going to go with Joel and Sheila. And they're married. They're real estate agents, I believe is what they are. Perfect cookie cutter family, I guess the term is. They have a daughter named Abby. They're situated between two cops. One's a police officer and one works for the sheriff's department, which apparently that means they got a rivalry going, which I find hilarious. I do love the humor so far, like the witty banter type it's got in the show, with Joel commenting after, why do we have to be situated between two cops? Why couldn't we be situated between two rival pastry chefs? We're introduced to one of the cops' stepson, Eric, and he has a major crush on Abby. So we're introduced to this new dude, this new real estate agent, named Gary. He's, I guess, kind of flirting with Sheila. Eric's mom invites Sheila to a girls' night, but she's, like, no. And then while they're at a house trying to sell it and show it off, Sheila gets sick and starts puking, like, a lot. And then, when Joel checks on her, she's breathing, and he immediately starts sobbing because that's his wife. She's dead. And then she comes back, and he says the correct response of, what the fuck? Then she points out something she threw up, and she's like, is this an organ? Like, she's holding it up. Is this an organ? So he immediately takes her to the hospital. But they're not prioritizing her because, she only threw up. But I'm with Joel. She threw up a lot. Like, you gotta throw up a lot for it to start dripping from the ceiling. You gotta really get some velocity and some angles on that shit. So, she's dead. She can't feel her heartbeat. So that's, one symptom of being undead, apparently. And this show also gives her, makes her want to be sexually active. I'm going to be honest, I've watched a lot of zombie and undead shows. I think this might be the first one that's ever had be like, have them come back and have them, need to be sexually active like that. Whatever. So he ends up going to this store, just looking at the stethoscopes, and this girl with a straight dead voice, she's absolutely hates, I don't know if she hates life or her job, but she's got a dead voice. And despite her telling Joel, I'm not your therapist, I don't want to hear your bullshit, he proceeds to tell her his bullshit before taking the stethoscope and going home to confirm that, nope, she does not have a heartbeat. So they have their daughter check it, gotta make sure. And then Sheila proceeds to cut her hand open, showing it's not immediately bleeding, only for it to start pouring out black blood. She tells them, don't freak out, but of course, they have the correct response. They both pass out. And now she's just nomming down on some raw ground beef, I guess. And now she's also decided, they go to Eric first, because apparently they can't go to the hospital, so they're going to go to a creeper, which is Eric. And he basically is like, yep, no pupils, unresponsive, yeah, you're undead. And that's kind of where it comes from, because he says it's usually sicknesses, virus, or whatever are from bats and monkeys. Also, I'm pretty sure rats are a good one, too. Anyway. And that's where it comes from. So, because Joel says, so then a bat or a monkey? So we're also introduced to Eric's stepdad, and he's gonna be the suspicious guy. Like, he's immediately suspicious and paranoid. But I'm pretty sure that's more just his personality. But, you know. Sheila is kind of going through a midlife crisis. You know, she's died, she's alive again, she's undead. She decides to go to the ladies' night. She proceeds to get drunk, and Gary's there and flirting. And Joel comes to get her because she bought her a new car. She's undead, completely acting not like herself. He's worried. To his credit, though, he doesn't force her to come back. Not really. So, I mean, also, he gets into a fight with, argument with Gary, because Gary is trying to, quote-unquote, defend Sheila, but, you know, he's just trying to get into her pants, really. And Joel proceeds to say, yeah, I'd throw a punch, and I'd get my ass kicked after, but I'd throw the punch. Dude, if you're planning to, you know, throw down, don't admit you're gonna get your ass kicked. Come on, man. Anyway. So, Gary proceeds to come over and starts nomming down and chomping down. No, Sheila starts sucking on his fingers before biting them and killing him, just ravaging his corpse. Joel comes out, you know, looking at the, her doing this, and all he can say is, again, the appropriate response of, what the fuck? So, I have watched this show to completion, but I don't really remember it, and so I'm both watching it with a clean slate and with the knowledge of what mostly happens. I'm going to need to watch a few more episodes before I can definitely say this, but I feel like this show is going to be taking itself seriously, but not too seriously. It seems to be taking itself seriously, but it's very humorous. I'm guessing we're gonna explore about how Sheila's undead, them figuring out how to feed her, I guess, because she's got the taste of blood. Going back to raw chicken and shit ain't gonna work no more. I wonder if they're gonna try and have her eat animals first before they give her people. Like, you know, just grab a live chicken and yuck it at her. Or something, I don't know. I'm expecting the sheriff dude, to be, overly suspicious. And, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some pretty conflicting emotions between Joel and Sheila about all this shit. So there's that. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I'm going to give this episode a solid 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.